Hi, Julie Rader. And this week I am doing it a little bit differently. I'm touching on the major aspects of the week, as well as spending the majority of the time talking about the solar eclipse we have happening on Friday or Saturday this week, the 3rd or 4th of September, depending on where you are in the world. And then I will go through what house and what area of life this eclipse may be triggering or will be triggering for you based on your sun, moon, or rising. So, starting off, and the reason I'm combining them, I am in the midst of recording videos for each sign, a 2022 overview. So, I needed a little extra time to do it. So, that's why I'm combining it this week. So, Tuesday on the 30th of November, it's a big day. We definitely have a lot of aspects going on. We have the sun trine Chiron. This is a beautiful day for healing. If you can get into a healer, do some healing work, this is definitely the day to do it. Then we have Venus, sextile Neptune. So this is a really beautiful aspect too. If you can do some spiritual work this day, get into nature, have some self-love, try not to overbook, and really just slow down, take some time for you on Tuesday. Then finally, at the end of the day, we have the sun sextile Saturn. So this is a great energy for getting things accomplished, because we have these other aspects, not so much in a rushed way, not seeing how much you can do on your to-do list. It's more about getting really clear on where you want to shine your energy, prioritizing your time. What's important to you? What are you willing to release so that you can put quality work out into the world rather than quantity? Quality over quantity. Tuesday's all about healing, imagination, spirituality, and being a little disciplined and conserving your energy and where you want to spend your energy. The days are getting shorter as we're moving toward the solstice. It's an important time anyway to think about where can you conserve some energy? Where in your life are you expending energy? Or like my dear friend Kathleen Kelly says, where are you rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic? Where are you just spinning your energy? Instead, where can you focus your energy so that you can be more efficient in what you're doing? On Wednesday, we have Neptune finally stationing direct. So when the day that a planet stations is quite powerful. So Wednesday, again, highly recommend doing some meditation, some spiritual work, go inward. Then let's talk about now the eclipse. So we have the Sagittarius new moon solar eclipse happening at 11:43 p.m. Pacific time on Friday the 3rd, or a lot of you in other parts of the world, this is going to be happening on the 4th. This is happening at 12 degrees Sagittarius. So look at your chart, see where that hits for you. And I'm going to talk a bit about, based on your sun, moon, or rising, what area of life. But if you have any planets around 12 degrees, specifically of Sagittarius, Pisces, Virgo, or Gemini, you will be feeling this quite a lot. So this eclipse, it's the last of these eclipses in the Sagittarius Gemini axis, meaning that we're wrapping up the areas of life that this has been affecting for the last 18 months. So really, this is a time of completing so that you can move forward. So it's the sun and moon, the new moon is conjunct the south node. The south node is more about our past. So this new moon eclipse really is about, okay, where can I clean up energy from the last 18 months? Where can I really finally let go of the old so that the new energy can come in. Because with an eclipse, it's as if we're rebooting our computer. So there's that moment where the computer's totally blank, just like in the sky when it's completely dark at the moment of the eclipse. So we're having this reboot to our system. And this reboot, before we have the reboot, let's clear out some more old energy. Where can we look and say, okay, now that I'm completing maybe a project I was working on, maybe it's something I've been wanting to release. There's a lot of energy for many of you with relocation, or at least the thought of relocation, because Vesta is also conjunct this new moon eclipse. Vesta is the goddess of the home. So this new moon, sun and moon are also conjunct Mercury. Mercury is all about communication. When Mercury is in Sagittarius, especially when the sun is there too and really shining it out there, there is sometimes this foot and mouth syndrome. So be aware of what you say, because you're not going to be able to take it back, especially at an eclipse. So a lot of energy, our nervous system, because it's a lot of fire energy, we may feel like our nervous system may feel a little frazzled. So really, really important that you do things to calm yourself, to calm your nervous system. Take it easy. Try not to overbook yourself on this day. So let's go through now and see where it's going to affect you personally in your own chart. So this, I always recommend checking your rising sign first. If you know it, if you know your time of birth, look and see. You can pull up a free program, astro.com. I also do readings. I would love to take a look at your chart if you're interested and you want to see how this eclipse is going to affect you, or just looking forward and even looking at the past. So Aries, this, so looking at your rising, your sun, and your moon. Rising, Aries, this is happening in your 9th house. So 9th house is about spirituality or philosophy or even travel. Relocation is highly possible for you, maybe even to another country, or just definitely somewhere where you would have to get on an airplane to get to. This is really about, because you have Chiron in Aries, this is really about, and remember we had this sun trine Chiron earlier in the week. This eclipse will be bringing that up again. There could be just a healing that occurs. You may gain some clarity because Mercury is involved as well. And we're rebooting the system. When we reboot the system, we get downloads. So you may get some downloads, some spiritual downloads on how you can heal. How you can heal wounds from the past, since Chiron's involved, from childhood, but also these past 18 months. You'll get some clarity on what needs to happen so that you can finally move forward and move beyond the pain or anything that's been holding you back. Taurus, this is happening in your 8th house. This is a deep psychological house. So remember, you've had Uranus there, Uranus in your sign for the last few years, and it's made you maybe act in ways that you normally wouldn't act. You're usually so steady, and maybe you're a little more unpredictable these days. Well, this eclipse is really allowing you to gain psychological clarity. You will gain clarity on what old paradigms are these belief systems that we have that were often embedded in us during childhood. Where can you release the old energy, the old beliefs that were instilled in you that don't define who you are? And Taurus is about the roots. Dig deep, dig to the roots, get to the root of these old beliefs and clear them out. You will potentially have a reboot, gain a psychological reboot where you all of a sudden gain clarity and all of a sudden you just have this spontaneous aha moment of where you need to go because you've been willing to release the past. Gemini, this is happening in your 7th house. This is all about relationships, and it has been for the last 18 months. This is last 18 months, Gemini, you and Sagittarius, you may not even recognize who you are from 18 months ago. There may have been some upheavals or changes in your relationships, or maybe just clarity on where things have needed to change. So this is completion of the old, because this next cycle, which will be in Taurus and Sagittarius, which is why it's also really important that the Taurus goes in and does that psychological clearing out before the nodes fully enter into your sign. But back to you, Gemini. It's about completing the old. It's completing this 18-month cycle before the nodes can fully leave your house. What have you learned in the last 18 months? How can you implement it into your life for growth? And this growth will improve all of your relationships, business, personal, romantic, any one-on-one relationships, or just how you interact with others. Cancer, this is happening in your 6th house. This is all about health and really revisiting any health issues over the last 18 months as well, and completing any reoccurring messages you've been getting or thoughts that have been coming into your mind, perhaps about changing up your routine, your daily routine, your workout routine, your dietary intake and routine. All about routine, all about health, and even work. Maybe looking, is your day-to-day work life serving you the way that you'd like it to? And it's time to make some changes so that you can feel really good, healthy, and full of vitality. Leo, this is happening in your 5th house. This is the house that you love, Leo. So this new moon eclipse is really getting you to take a good, hard look at your life. Are you allowing fun into your life? Are you allowing yourself to be childlike? If you have children, what is your relationship with children? If you've been thinking about having children, you might gain clarity on whether or not that's a good, appropriate step for you. This really is about reinvigorating creativity, fun, romance, and really looking at children, maybe even connecting with your own inner child that may have been silenced a long time ago. So Leo, it's time for you to have a reboot in this system so you can start having fun again. Virgo, this is happening in your 4th house of home and family, a reboot to this system. Looking at any changes in home and family over the last 18 months and how can things shift for you so that you may feel really in alignment with any new beginnings that are coming your way. Libra, this is happening in your 3rd house. 3rd house represents many things, siblings, teaching, learning, publication skills. Maybe there's a skill that you've been learning over the last 18 months. And this eclipse is telling you that perhaps it's time to implement these skills. And or if there's something, publication, something you've been working on writing, maybe you're getting a bit more clarity on if you need to revise it a bit or just go ahead and put it out there into the world. Scorpio, it's happening in your 2nd house. So over the last 18 months, you may have had a spotlight on your finances and possessions. Go through, get rid of what you no longer need, what you're not using on a day-to-day basis. Also, really looking at your finances and prioritizing, where are you spending your money? Are you spending money on things that are meaningful to you? And if not, make a shift there. Maybe looking if you have investments or cryptocurrency or anything like that. Take a good hard look at your money, your possessions. You'll gain some clarity and maybe wrapping things up from the last 18 months. Sagittarius, this is huge for you. This happening in your first house. It represents your body, but also how you step out into the world. These eclipses have been happening in Sagittarius and Gemini for the last 18 months. You've had the South Node there. The South Node, it urges you and even sometimes forces you to look back at your past. Maybe it's been time to go back to your roots. Maybe you're really realizing you need to physically go back to your roots with Vesta being involved, really connecting with family, connecting with where you grew up. That could definitely be a theme for you. It's conjunct Mercury, it's conjunct Vesta. Maybe it's time to really have that conversation with others about how you can wrap up the last 18 months so that you can move forward. You'll gain so much clarity at this eclipse if you allow yourself to quiet your mind and listen more. With Mercury, Sun, Moon in your sign, you're going to want to talk. I urge you, listen. And as you listen, not only to others, listen to your inner guidance. You will get downloads of information as your system, your computer is being rebooted at this eclipse. You may also gain just this insight and clarity. Your mind will feel very, very active. So slow down, journal, write, get into nature, and do something really spiritual that day. The insights will be out of this world. Capricorn, this is happening in your 12th house. You will feel the urge to go into solitude, and I highly urge you to do that. A lot of clearing out. It's important when you have a reboot in your 12th house that you clear out, you clean out the old energy so that you can listen to the messages more clearly. So go inward. You may even feel the urge to travel to another country or just dream about it or plan a trip. Do the work spiritually. Aquarius, this is happening in your 11th house of friends, aspirations, groups. The groups of people you communicate with and your friendships may have really changed over the last 18 months. And the 11th house is a house you are very familiar with. It's a very Aquarian house. So this reboot to the system, you also may be getting downloads of information. So write them down because they will leave as fast as they come. Go in and ask yourself, do the friends still resonate with you? The friendships that you have, the tribes or groups of people, are they still in alignment with your beliefs? And most importantly, revisit your aspirations. Are they different than they were 18 months ago? Use this solar eclipse to gain clarity on what it is you want for the future. Where can you put energy into the areas of life that are meaning for you moving forward? And last, but certainly not least, Pisces. This is in your 10th house. It's all about career. Looking back over the last 18 months, you may find that your career has shifted a lot. A lot of us it has with the pandemic. However, this is really bringing this to the forefront. Looking at your career. Is it still in alignment with you? You'll get downloads of information, you are very familiar with how to listen to the spiritual guidance that comes to you. Definitely do it at this new moon. You will, the messages you receive may be out of this world. So really write them down, and you may get some really interesting career ideas, or just how you want to step out into the world differently. Um, okay. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. Happy eclipse. And I will see you soon with the 2022 videos. Please like the video, subscribe, and share it with others.